At first glance, the list of the languages with the most Wikipedia articles makes sense. English is first, and that there are other languages like German, Swedish, French, Dutch, Russian, Spanish, and so on. For the most part, these are some of the most commonly spoken languages in the West, except for one. Cebuano, a language with around 18 to 22 million native speakers, has 6.1 million articles, close to 3 times more than third place German. So, why is Cebuano the second most common language on Wikipedia? Firstly, what is Cebuano? Cebuano, commonly referred to as Bisaya or Binisaya by native speakers, is an Austronesian language spoken in the southern Philippines. It's the most common language spoken in the area, and the second most commonly spoken language in the Philippines. So, with around 20 million native speakers, how did it become the second most common language on Wikipedia? The Cebuano language Wikipedia was launched in June 2005. As is typical for similar pages, there are roughly 1,000 articles published in 2006, until a bot began mass producing articles of all the communes of France. Among the Wikipedia community at the time, the Cebuano Wikipedia was called the Wikipedia of French communes. Philippine language Wikipedias then started trying to compete with one another to get more numbers of articles, particularly Tagalog and Waray Wikipedias. By the end of 2012, there were about 30,000 Cebuano articles due in part to this competition. However, in December 2012, LSJBot began to automatically create articles. LSJBot is an automated Wikipedia article creating program, also known as a Wikipedia bot, developed by Sverker Johansson for the Swedish Wikipedia. The bot primarily focuses on writing about living organisms and geographical entities such as rivers, dams, and mountains. Before writing an article, the bot collects specific information about a particular subject by using what's called a semantic domain. For example, the domain body would include foot, hand, face, and so on. Next, the bot collects information on each of these subtopics, and lastly, the information is inputted into template sentences with blank spaces to write about each topic. The idea behind the program was that the Cebuano-speaking community could flourish thanks to having access to thousands or millions of articles to edit, rather than having to painstakingly find and write about all the information on a given topic. From February to December 2013, the number of Cebuano articles increased ninefold. By the end of 2015, about 99% of the 1.4 million Cebuano articles had been created by bots. An analysis of the Cebuano Wikipedia on Wikidata on July 2015 found that of the 1.21 million articles at the time, 95.8% were of living beings and biological species, about 1.16 million, and 3.3% were of cities and communities, about 39,000. In August 2017, there were a total of 5 million Cebuano articles, making it the second largest Wikipedia in the world. LSJBot was active in the Swedish and Waray Wikipedias, but is currently only active in the Cebuano Wikipedia. LSJBot is responsible for creating 80 to 99% of all the articles available in these three languages. Since 2020, LSJBot has only been performing maintenance on the Cebuano Wikipedia and is not creating any new articles. As of January 2019, 33% of the articles made by LSJBot were in Swedish, Johansson is Swedish, and 67% were in Cebuano, the native language of his wife. Later on, Johansson decided to end the automatic creation of Swedish and Waray articles as, quote, opinions shifted within those communities. From July 2020 to December 2021, Swedish Wikipedia went from having 3.72 million articles to 2.79 million, mostly due to the deletion of LSJBot's pieces. However, LSJBot is still largely responsible for Swedish Wikipedia having the fourth highest number of articles. On February 2020, it was found that over 24 million of the 29.5 million edits of the Cebuano Wikipedia were done by LSJBot, bots for all the top 10 editors on the encyclopedia. So let's look at some of the pros and cons of the LSJ bot and in turn the Cebuano Wikipedia as well. Firstly, the cons. Wikipedia largely relies on communities of writers and editors, as this is the best way to maintain a stable and self-sustaining flow of information sharing. In June 2019, the Cebuano Wikipedia had 77,000 page views in the Philippines, while English had 98 million. Cebuano Wikipedia has 171 active users or editors. German Wikipedia, with 3 times less articles, has 17,383. Among many Wikipedia editors, their favorite thing to do is create new articles. LSJBot was created with the intention of sharing articles for others to edit later on, thus developing a community. This plan does not align much with the reasons why so many people write Wikipedia articles in the first place. Furthermore, articles written by LSJBot are rather short, purely factual, and often lack meaningful information. Here's an example of an article, and now I'll read it translated so you know what a typical LSJBot or Cebuano article looks like. So here's part of an article on the Governor's Mansion historical marker in Michigan. You can see that's written by the LSJ bot because of this box here. The Governor's Mansion historical marker is located in the Calhoun County in the state of Michigan, in the eastern part of the state, 800 kilometers northwest of the capital city, Washington, D.C. The Governor's Mansion historical marker is located 284 meters above sea level. The highest point in the vicinity has an elevation of 298 meters and is 1.7 kilometers east of the Governor's Mansion historical marker. There are about 104 people per square kilometer around the Governor's Mansion historical marker, making it relatively sparsely populated. The nearest large town is Battle Creek, 19.3 kilometers west of the Governor's Mansion historical marker. Now here's another article on Hayward City in the US. It's pretty much the exact same sentences with different numbers. Not going to read it, but they are both linked in the description. There are also a lot of articles like this that are basically just links. I don't really know how anyone finds any use for this, but hey, to each their own, I guess. Millions of articles like these put a lot of pressure on Wikipedia servers. Wikipedia has no ads. They can only maintain their servers thanks to donations, and tens of thousands of dollars are arguably wasted on maintaining these useless articles. In 2017, a proposal was made in the Wikipedia community to close all the articles made by the LSJ bot. Most of the points mentioned above came from those participating in the discussions of the time. But ultimately, the proposal was rejected, and as for why, let's look at some of the positive aspects of LSJ bot and the Cebuano Wikipedia. Firstly, many of LSJ bot's articles are being edited and improved by Cebuano-speaking editors to improve their quality and also make it useful for Cebuano-speaking people. Cebuano Wikipedia has also claimed to be the only Cebuano language encyclopedia in the world, and today it is certainly the largest. Many Cebuano speakers will not have access to so much information if it were not for the LSJ bot and the Cebuano Wikipedia. Nonetheless, 90% of Wikipedia views from the Philippines go to English Wikipedia, 5% to Tagalog, and 3% to Russian. 30% of Cebuano Wikipedia views come from China, 22% from the US, 11% from France, and 11% from the Philippines. There are a total of around 55.6 million articles on Wikipedia, and 5.3 million of these are in Cebuano, roughly 9.5%. An estimated 5,331,028 of the 5,378,570 articles on the Cebuano Wikipedia were created by LSJ bot, or 99.12%. The bot was created to produce thousands of articles for people to edit and thus create an active community. However, there's just too much content for any community to be able to reasonably process. English Wikipedia has 116,700 users, or editors. Third biggest German Wikipedia has 17,383. Cebuano Wikipedia has 174. 174 people cannot reasonably edit 5.4 million articles on their own, so Cebuano Wikipedia remains largely filled with meaningless articles like this. In June 2019, the Cebuano Wikipedia had 77,000 page views in the Philippines, while English had 98 million. Tagalog, the most commonly spoken language in the country, had 8 million page views. The main arguments against LSJBot and the Cebuano Wikipedia relates to quality over quantity. However, quantity does have its benefits. Many Cebuano speakers do not have access to any similarly large wealths of information in their language. Despite this, the Cebuano Wikipedia community is growing, albeit somewhat slowly. The future is bright as there's so much information available to this community. It just needs to be organized in a way that is actually useful to Cebuano speakers. The best way to develop a community is to first raise awareness and then give people an incentive to join. For the benefit of the roughly 20 million Cebuano speakers, an active and inviting community must be created to ensure that everyone has quality access to one of the largest wealths of information in the world. And that's the end of the video. It's hard to get a sense of what the majority of Cebuano articles actually look like, as it is impossible to thoroughly analyze millions of articles. It's hard to definitively talk about the quality of the Cebuano Wikipedia and LSJBot, so it's really up to you to decide whether it's a good or bad thing. And yeah, that's the end of the video, and thank you all so much for watching.